Hello, Las Vegas. It's Monique Buchanan, the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show and your local Las Vegas realtor. I want to thank you guys for tuning into the show, and I want to apologize. I have played about, I think, 2 reruns in the last couple weeks, but I have a reason for that. All of a sudden, after the first of the year, the feds went all over the news announcing that they have lowered the rates, and they plan on lowering the rates 4 more times this year and another 5 times next year. You don't have to take my word for it. I hope you trust me, but if you don't, you can always look it up yourself. So they came on to the news. They announced that, and let me tell you something, it put the fire under a lot of people because, listen, we just had the Super Bowl here. It was a total success. We've got the Oakland A's coming. We've got the Aces out there, killing it. And we've got our Raiders, of course, so there's so many things going on here in Vegas, not to mention Hollywood is coming to Vegas. So Vegas is doing and seeing things that it has never seen before. So we've got folks pouring in from all over the country coming into Vegas. It's the hot market. You know what I mean? And so with that being said, and they announced the rates coming down, I have been super busy. Me and my team, I should say, have been assisting so many beautiful buyers, and I'm so happy for them. In fact, let me give a shout out to one of my buyers. Will be closing her property on Friday. Now, and this is the thing. This is why it's so imperative if you're thinking about purchasing to make the move now, because the feds have lowered the rates a little bit. You know what I mean? So we're at around 6.25, and of course that's just an estimate, and they change all the time. It's like the stock market; they go up and down, up and down. So, but here's my point: they were almost like 8% back in November, like it was over 7, right? Now we're down to 6.25, so that's quite a bit of a jump, and it has motivated many buyers to come on out the woodworks. Okay, now this will not last. In fact, I don't believe I'll have that negotiating power even within the next 2 months, like honestly. Okay, so let me give you an example. I have a buyer. She came out from California, and we were looking at homes, under 1.5 million. And it's crazy because, listen, even at, 1.5 million, there's very few out there. I think we looked at in the area that she wanted Summerlin. I think there was like maybe 7 or 8, right? So that's crazy. But anyways, she liked one that was 1.35, okay? I was able to get that property negotiated down to 1.25, $100,000 off list price, and I was able to negotiate $30,000 in closing costs for her. So we're closing on that property in a couple days next week. And let me tell you, she is a happy camper. Okay? Of course she is, because I was able to put my negotiating skills to work because of the market that we're in. Hey, seller's happy. He's moving on. She's got a beautiful, beautiful home in the Ridges, and she got it for $100,000 off. All the homes in that area are being sold for over 1.4. So that's why I'm going to revert. I'm going to go back to, the old school Mo when I first started this show about 3 years ago. I just talked about, what to look out for when you're buying a home, what it looks like, your concerns if you haven't bought, so we're just going to revert back because I'm telling you right now, the window is shutting. All right. The more buyers are going to come out as they continue to lower these rates. And guess what that does? It gives the seller the upper hand because now he's got 10, 20 people looking at his home and putting in offers. I don't know if you guys remember 2019. And if you bought back then, you fought for your house. You had to. There was multiple people trying to buy the same house that you wanted, and you overbid because you had to. I had a client, you guys have heard me tell this story all the time. We were going $20,000 over in that time and never got a house. He was outbidded every single time, and he was a veteran. That just hurt my heart. So I know that is coming again. I'm warning my friends' family, and you guys are part of that. My family, my KUMV family. I'm warning all of them. Listen, if you're thinking about buying, because we will not have that negotiating power even within a couple months. So anyways, I want to talk to you guys about what are some reasons of maybe you're thinking you can't buy or that it's holding you back, okay? So I want to just kind of go over a couple things that have been brought up to me and just kill the myths. There's a lot of myths out there. One of the myths is you have to have 20% saved to buy a home. Absolutely not true. Absolutely not true, you guys. That is what originally had me start this show, is because I want to share my knowledge about, real estate and the fact that a lot of people have these things that they hear at work or their family members that bought years ago, and they think that those same, rules apply. Well, no. So the only time you have to have 20% down basically is when you are an investor. If you're buying a property that you don't plan on living in, you're going to make income off that property. Yes, you need to have 20% down. But if you have been renting a home for the last 3 years, I don't care who you are. I don't care what you bought back in the day with your cousin, your mom, your auntie, you short sold, you did this. It doesn't matter. If you have been renting for the last 3 years, you are considered a first-time home buyer, okay? Per FHA guidelines. What does that mean? That means that you do not need to put 20% down. That means that you are able to put 3.5% down. That is a game changer, right? So let me give you an idea, okay? FHA will let you buy a home basically all the way up to $500,000. Let's just say that it's $498. Let's just say $500,000 for easy math, okay? So at 3.5%, you only have to bring $17,500 to the table for your down payment. I'll be able to negotiate the closing cost from the seller. That I'll have a chance to do that. You know what I mean? But like I said, the window's closing fast. So what does that mean? When you buy a home, you have your down payment, but you also have another 3%, which would be your closing costs. Okay, so at that $500,000 mark, let's just do that. 3% would be $15,000. So if you were to pay everything on your own, the $17,500 plus the $15,000 for closing costs, you would be all in at $32,500. But if you take advantage of the market right now, because you heard what I said. So the realtors know this lender. So that really plays a huge part. When the realtor that is selling the property and representing the seller knows you and knows your lender, knows that you guys are doing big things here in Vegas as far as like closing homes for people that otherwise wouldn't be able to get closed by other lenders, it goes a long way. They know they can trust that if I come to them and say, hey, my buyer is ready to rock and roll, they know that me and my lender have done our due diligence and that they're definitely going to have that home sold. They're not going to look crazy to their seller, but because the buyer all of a sudden falls out or whatever, that's not going to happen, not on my watch. So they know that. So long story short, $32,500 for a $500,000 home if you paid everything on your own, right? Now, if I negotiate the closing cost, then you're only left to pay $17,500. That's it. $17,500. You got a $500,000 home. Okay. And that is what I'm talking about, you guys. So right now, the builders are, they're open to me negotiating closing costs on behalf of my buyers. They're willing to buy down your rate as well. So you guys are hearing, oh, the rates are high. The rates are high. So with a new build, I'm able to negotiate them buying your rate down, to make the mortgage more affordable. You know what I mean? So if the rate is at 6%, I can have them buy the rate down in many cases to 4%. That's what I've been doing, you guys, this last year. You hear me talking to you guys all year long since they raised the rates last June. I said, this is not a bad thing. It might seem bad, but it's not, because guess what? Now it slows the market down. The sellers no longer have the upper hand when it comes time to buying a property, right? So now you have the upper hand as a buyer, because like I've been telling each and every one of my sellers, hey, you can expect them to ask for closing costs. And guess what? They're okay with it because they understand there's not a bunch of people knocking down the door trying to buy their home. Now, when I'm representing my buyer, we always ask for the closing cost. And then I make the phone call and have a conversation with that listing agent and let her know, hey, this is the market we're in. They're going to need to buy down their rate. That has to come from the seller. Those funds have to come from the seller. So when you're a talker like me, a communicator, that goes a long ways because a lot of agents, a lot of them maybe are not aware of that. They don't understand that it has to come from the seller, but I educate them. And then they say, okay, that's, that makes complete sense to me. And then of course their seller is more open to, contributing those closing cost funds, especially when the builder down the street is doing exactly that. So anyways, you guys, let's jump into some reasons of maybe, that people are thinking about that maybe they're thinking they can't buy. Okay, one of the reasons is maybe you owe some money to the tax man, okay? Maybe you know that you owe some taxes, or you haven't done your taxes in a couple years. Guess what? No problem. No problem. You can go ahead and start up, file your taxes. If you owe money, all we need to see is that you've made 3 payments. That's it, 3 months payments. So you start now, do your taxes, go ahead and make 3 months payments, and we can move forward. All right, you heard me right. So if you know that you owe some money, you haven't did your taxes, go ahead. You're going to have to take care of them at some point anyway, but don't miss this, opportunity to purchase before we turn into Little LA. Because you guys hear me say it all the time, we are turning into Little LA. It's happening right before my eyes. Just a couple of years ago, you could buy a 2,500 square foot home for, $240,000 out here. That is not coming back. I'm sorry to tell you, there's no way that we're going to have homes that cheap again. There's no way. Why? Why would that ever happen? You know what I mean? With everything that's going on in Vegas, all the people that are moving in here, why in the world would our homes go? It doesn't make sense. So we have to say goodbye to the $240,000 homes, 2,500 square feet. Now the average price point is at $450,000. Okay, $450,000. You owe the tax man, no problem. 3 months taxes is all we need to see that you've made payment arrangements with the IRS and you're making at least your, 3rd month payment. You're good to go. All right. Maybe you owe student loan debt. Guys, they changed the laws for the student loan debt a couple years ago. They are so much more lenient now. Don't worry. If you've been told in the past, you're approved, but you're approved for like nothing because of your student loan debt. I'm here to tell you, don't give up. Oh, let me give myself, say my number because I get rolling and I forget. So if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan. You can reach me and my team at 702-984-3700, 702-984-3700. And you can check out my website, welcomehomewithmonique.com. I'm also on YouTube. You can like and subscribe. Welcome Home with Monique is the name of my YouTube channel where I have all of my previous shows uploaded. So you can go ahead and listen to those shows as well. But okay, guys, so 702-984-3700 if any of this interests you or you want more information, or if you just want to chew my ear about something real estate, I'm here to help, okay? So let's go back into this. Let's jump on back into this. So if you have student loan debt, once again, they changed the laws. You can reach out to me and I will get you with my lender and he'll go over that with you. Don't give up. If you've been told no by some bank, they have very strict guidelines at the bank. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Don't give up. Every lender has different guidelines. So don't give up if they tell you that they can't do it, or if they approved you for something ridiculous like $200,000. Obviously they're going to, go off of your income. But listen, don't give up. It's a 5-minute conversation with my lender. And let me tell you, if it's able to be done, he will get it done. Okay. And so there's that. If you owe child support debt, keep in mind, you should definitely catch that up. But anyways, if you do owe that, it's not going to hinder you from getting a home. It will just affect how much you are approved for. Okay, so I'm just going over, I did like a little poll, and these are the things that came up with my, friends and family that said, hey, these are the concerns. So one of my friends said child support debt. So there you go. I'm answering that for you now. It will not stop you, but it will hinder you on how much you will be approved for, but you definitely need to take care of that. I'm just saying. All right, so business owners, 1099 employees, okay? You can definitely purchase a home. Typically need just that 1-year tax return or bank statements, okay? And so if you're a business owner, we need to see, hey, how's the business been doing for the last year? So if you know that you are going to want to buy a home this year, have a conversation with my lender and get that guidance. Okay, well, this is how much I want to buy. I want to buy a $500,000 home, or I want to buy a $1.4 million home. You got to know how much you need to claim or whatever. Just don't want to write everything off, because then obviously, business owners, we do that. So obviously we don't want to do that when it comes time to purchase a house. And I am not a CPA. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? This is what I've heard from my CPAs, and we'll leave it at that. So anyways, just know that you can still purchase a home if you're a 1099 employee, whether that's driving Uber or you're a realtor or whatever it is, you are able to purchase a home with your bank statements or tax returns. And here's another one. I have quite a few investors that have been reaching out to me, right now because they see the writing on the wall and they are trying to buy everything they can, okay? And I'm not mad at them. I get it. I had one of my investors, she is retired, okay? So she said, well, Monique, I'm retired. I want to buy 4 condo units, but I'm retired. I don't have that check coming in, so I don't think I'll be approved for it. Guess what, guys? There is a loan for that. And they don't look at your income. What they do is this particular loan called DSCR, it looks at how much money you'll be able to make off of the units. So it doesn't go off of your personal income. It goes off of the income of the properties that you are trying to purchase. So you don't need to have, the paycheck coming in, if that makes any sense. All right. So it's a little different. So if you own, like, let's say that your payment for all 4 units is going to cost you, let's just say, I don't know, let's say it's going to be $4,000. Okay. I'm just putting that out there. So you're going to buy these 4 units. It's going to be $4,000 mortgage, but you're able to rent out each one of these units for $1,500. That's bringing in $6,000. So no, you don't need to show any income because your units are producing income. That is a game changer, you guys. So there's a lot of my KUMV family out there that are retired and they are thinking, man, Monique's right. I see the writing on the wall. I would love to pick up some investment properties, but I'm retired. I don't think that I'll be approved. Guess what? Close on the property, okay? Or it's 30 days. So by the way, it takes about 30 days. Well, with my lender, it takes about 3 weeks, to be honest with you. If you want to close, he can close it 3 weeks, sometimes 2. But anyways, we'll just say for typical, okay? So let's say that we put the offer in and we close March 15th because it's around the 15th now. So we close March 15th, okay? You will be in that property. You won't have a payment on that property probably till June 1st. That would be your first payment. So it gives you that cushion. Do you see what I'm saying? To go ahead and transition. And then you're getting your keys March 15th. Well, your lease is up April. There you go, right? And now you don't have to worry about, being stressed out or anything like that. But like I said, you can always work it out with your property manager. Don't let it hold you back. That's my point. So real quick, if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan. I am the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show. You can check me out on IG at Realtor Monique Buchanan. And I just want to say thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate each and every one of my KUMV family sharing my information with their family and friends. I just love when you guys call me and then I get to meet a lot of you guys, and all of you guys have been so amazing. I just want to say that. I've said it before. I just love this radio station. I love the platform that they've allowed for people to come on and enrich the community with, different knowledge. And so I just want to say thank you to KUMV too. So, all right, guys. So we're going to jump into something that I have not talked about in quite a bit. Since the feds raised rates back in June, you didn't hear me talk about down payment assistance programs at all, not one bit. Let me tell you why I stopped talking about down payment assistance programs. Because they typically have a much higher rate. So why would I talk about them? Because if the rate was already at 7%, then the DPA, which is what we call down payment assistance programs, they were typically about 1 point higher. So that would be, it wasn't economically, feasible. I didn't think it didn't make any sense. Let's just say it plain. It didn't make any sense. And down payment assistance programs typically will lock my buyer in for 3 to 5 years where they can refinance, but then they pay all the money back or it's prorated. If it's 1 year, then they'll pay, 1 year of the 3 years, they'll have to pay the 2 years back, right? Prorated, right? So it didn't make any sense. I didn't want to have to put them into a program or talk about a program that's going to end up costing them money and be too expensive on the mortgage. It just didn't make sense. Well, guess what, guys? The point of this is I'm going to tell you about a down payment assistance program that you can use right now that does not do any of these things. It has not inflated the purchase, interest rate. So it goes off of your credit score, just like anything, else. And it does not add an extra point off the top. So it's reasonable. It's just normal. It also will not lock you in 3 to 5 years. And you do not have to be a first-time home buyer to use this down payment assistance program. Now, you can't own a home. So what that means is, let's say you bought a home already, but you're not going to make much when I sell the property. I'm going to list the property for you. You want to move on for whatever reason, but you just bought it. So you're not going to make that much money. You're not going to have enough really to put down on the next house, but you do want to buy something else for whatever reason. Well, guess what? That's fine. You can use this down payment assistance program. I just need to list the property, and then you can move forward with the down payment assistance program. Now, here's another one that's just major. Now, most down payment assistance programs have income limits. This one has no income limit. You heard me right. No income limit. It's available in all 50 states except New York and Washington. So if you have family members elsewhere and you're listening to this and you're like, this sounds really good, you can share my information, 702-984-3700, and I will get them with my lender that can help them with this. And guess what? The credit score you need for this down payment assistance program, wait for it, you just need to have over a 600 credit score. This is going to open the door for so many people to make that move to home ownership before it turns into little LA. I am so excited about this down payment assistance program. This is what I've been waiting for so that a lot of my families out there can go ahead and make this move and they won't miss this opportunity, okay? Because I'm telling you, the prices are going to go through the roof in Las Vegas within the next couple months. The next 6 months, by the end of this year, your head's going to be spinning. You're going to be saying, my goodness, I wish I would have just went ahead and bought a house. You know, back when I heard Monique talking about it. Man, I wish I'd have did that. So 702-984-3700. WelcomeHomeWithMonique.com. And like I said, you can find me on IG at Realtor Monique Buchanan. So if you know some loved ones, some kids, family, friends, whoever, that, just don't have a lot saved up for a down payment. They don't have the 17.5, but they want to buy a home, at $500,000. They don't have it. Guess what? This is going to take care of their down payment. And guess what? So what will they buy? Like they could possibly come out of their pocket with $1,000 or less to buy a home. Because why? Down payment's being picked up by this program that I'm telling you about. And then I'm asking the seller to pay for their other 3% in closing costs. Hey, I was doing this all day long last year before June. All day long I was closing homes. My clients were getting into their homes for under $1,000 out of their pocket. My veterans were getting money back in the mail from the title company. So, it really happens. This is not a hoax. This is the real deal, you guys. Once again, your down payment will be taken care of through this program. It is forgivable, so you don't pay it back. You need a 600 FICO score. It is a 30-year fixed loan, FHA. You do not have to be a first-time home buyer. There are no income limits, and it's available in each and every state of the beautiful United States, unfortunately, except for New York and Washington State, which is actually my home. I'm kind of sad about that. But yes, so we can help our family and friends and tell them about this. 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. Now, I have a listing that just popped up. It's going to be coming soon. It's a single-story home, and it's a little over 1,400 square feet. It has a patio that was just added. It's 3 bedrooms, 2-car garage, gated community. And listen, I'm going to list that one for about $348,000. So if you're interested, you can reach me once again, 702-984-3700. I want to give a shout out to my beautiful family that just came down from Seattle, and we got them into and we just went under contract for that one. The homes in the community are all comping out at around $500,000 and $550,000. Yes, I got this single-story home for my Seattle family. I got that for them for $430,000, and I negotiated $15,000 from the seller to pay their closing costs. The buyers are very happy right now, very happy, and they will be refinancing their house. Now, they did the 2-1 buy down with the money that I got from the seller, so their first year will be at a 4.25. The next year will be at a 5.25, so their mortgage is going to be pretty darn reasonable the first year and the second year, but they plan on refinancing As soon as the feds go ahead and drop those rates to the 4s, they're going to go ahead and refinance into a 30-year fixed. Worst case scenario, they're at a 5.25. So listen, go ahead and get the home today so you don't have to fight 20 people tomorrow. Okay? So make sure, if you already have a realtor, you probably need to talk to your realtor about, the properties that are available. So this particular builder is giving FHA a 4.99% rate. They're going to buy down your rate to 4.99. If you're a conventional buyer, they're going to buy your rate down to 5.25. Now they do have some homes. Well, they have plenty of homes, but some of the ones that I just toured, single stories, 20 square feet, 3-car garage, has a multi-gen. If you don't know what that is, that's basically a 1-bedroom apartment attached to the home. $739 is what it's going for in the Summerlin area. Okay, Summerlin area, you're near shopping, you're near the baseball field, the Summerlin Mall, freeways, access is right there. They've got quite a few for you to choose from, ranging as little as 2,300 square feet all the way up to 2,520 square feet. Okay. And this is in Summerlin. Red Rock Mountains are right there. So if you're into hiking, there's a lot of outdoorsy stuff there as well. I lived in Summerlin for 20 years. I love it. I love Summerlin. It's got a lot to offer. So yeah, guys, they've got them as little as 704 and all the way up to 793. That's for the 2,520 square foot one. Now listen, these are quick move-ins. So you will be in your home 60 to 90 days. All right. 60 to 90 days. And like I told you, they're giving you 3% for your closing costs. They're also buying down that rate. That is a game changer. So they're buying down your rate. Well, obviously, you can't buy this community with FHA. FHA stops at 500, actually 498, 500. But these homes are in the 7s, so you definitely are going to go conventional, but they're going to buy down your rate for you at 5.25. That is something, you guys, okay? Now, if you're like, hey, Mo, that's nice, but, I'd like to look at a little bit more affordable. We've got homes with my other builder, and they're doing exactly the same, buying down your rate, okay, giving you the 3% closing cost, and we've got quick move-ins as little as $392, and that right there, that particular floor plan is a 3-bedroom, 1,601 square feet, and it's going for, like I said, out the door price. You don't have to worry about buying the lot, paying for the upgrades. These homes are already pretty much done with upgrades, okay? The lot's already included in this price. $392, okay? $392,000. This is in the Northwest area. And then you have some that are, let me see here, $412,000, and that's 1,676 square feet. And that's going for $412,000 out the door. Listen, there's ranges. We know where all the homes are. They've got some luxury townhomes right on the mountain, Summerlin South. Beautiful. And those are very unique. They're called rooftops, okay? So you've got rooftops going up. They're around $800,000, but once again, the builder is contributing towards you, as far as your closing costs and things like that. These are very unique homes. When you first walk in the first floor, you've got your office. You go upstairs, that's where the main living space is. You go up again and you've got your rooms. Then you go up one more time and it's a complete rooftop with a view of the entire Las Vegas Valley. Those are going for around $800,000. Listen, I want to thank you for tuning in to the show today. This is Monique Buchanan, your Las Vegas realtor. And until I hear from you.